All right, we have reached that critical point. You have drawn symbols and heaps and holes and drawn number lines or drawn on number lines for adding and subtracting. And then you got to write all of these beautiful justifications. Remember that justifying is just explaining your thought process or the answers to the questions that you're thinking in your head when you're solving a problem. Did that for adding and subtracting. Now we hit multiplying and dividing. To be as blunt and straightforward and honest with you as possible, these are the easy ones. Main reason multiplying and dividing are the easy ones is because the rules are exactly the same. They are short, they are sweet, they are concise, and it's the ones that students typically learn and then try to apply to adding and subtracting. Please remember, for subtracting, you need to add the opposite and then follow the addition rules. And for adding, we just follow the addition rules. Signs are the same, add and keep the sign. Signs are different, subtract, take the sign of the larger absolute value. For multiplication and division, you do the normal operation, so you either multiply or you divide. Then if the signs are the same, the answer will be positive. If the signs are different, the answer will be negative. So the thing to remember about this is that it will only work for two numbers. Sometimes you'll get problems where you have to end up doing more than two numbers. Only take them two at a time. Don't try and do three. So looking at the first problem, 1 times 7. Y'all are very intelligent young ladies and young gentlemen, and I know that y'all know that 1 times 7 is 7. However, let's go through the process of justifying our thought process. We know we need to multiply. 1 times 7 equals 7. Same signs. Answer positive. Isn't that nice and easy? Therefore, for 1 times 7, simply put, we know that the answer will be positive 7. Moving into negative 1 times 7. We know we're going to multiply just like we normally would. 1 times 7 will equal 7. And then the signs, we have different signs. So the answer is negative. Therefore, negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. You don't have to worry about which one's bigger, which one's smaller, which one has more, which one has less. It is simply put, the signs are the same, the answer is positive. The signs are different, the answer is negative. Looking at 1 times negative 7, we multiply. 1 times 7, and we get 7. Hopefully by this point you've learned it, because you'll note that for these 4 examples, all I did was add or subtract or move around negative signs. We then note that we have different signs, so the answer is negative. And 1 times negative 7 will be negative 7. Looking at the last multiplication example, we have negative 1 times negative 7. So we're going to multiply 1 times 7, and we know it's going to be 7, especially by the 4th time. We note that they have the same signs, so the answer is positive. So negative 1 times negative 7 is positive 7. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at division. Because good news, it's exactly the same. Once again, we have to make note that it can only be done with 2 numbers. So don't try and do multiple ones in your head. Hopefully you wouldn't try with division, but just in case, just to remind you. So the rules for division, we divide just like normal, and then if the signs are the same, the answer is positive. If the signs are different, the answer is negative. So in this case, I have chosen 15 and 3. So we have 15 divided by 3, so we know we're going to have to divide. And we end up with 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Excuse me for my division sign being a slash instead of the division sign. It's a lot easier on here to use that. And now we have same signs, answer positive. Therefore, our answer to 15 divided by 3 is going to be positive 5. Now, I knew y'all knew that. You're smart, young ladies and young gentlemen. However, now we have put it following the rules. Looking at the second one, negative 15 divided by 3. We know our first step is to divide. Negative 15 divided by, 15 divided by 3, we know is going to be 5. So now we look and we say, well, we have different signs. The 15 is negative, the 3 is positive. So since we have different signs, we know that the answer is negative. So negative 15 divided by 3 would be negative 5. The third example, 15 divided by negative 3. We go through the same process. We're going to divide. 15 divided by 3 we know is 5, especially at this point by the third example. Now we can note that we have different signs because 15 is positive, 3 is negative, and therefore our answer is negative. This means that 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. Now for the final example. Negative 15 divided by negative 3. Good news! You already know the first step. We're going to divide 15 by 3, and we know it's going to equal 5. Now we have to go, hey, we have the same signs. The answer is positive. We have the same signs because both of them are negative, and we end up with a positive 5. And that is all there is to justifying multiplication and division. Told you this was the easy one, or these were the easy ones.